Are you ready to take your life to new heights? I'm Erica, host of the Elevate with Erica podcast. This podcast isn't just about listening. I get real with y'all. Stories from my past, things I'm currently going through, good, bad, and all the in-between, so that we can take action together and step into our power. From mindset shifts to practical tips, we cover it all. So whether you're struggling with self-doubt, seeking clarity, or simply hungry for inspiration, Elevate with Erica is going to be your go-to resource. So if you're ready to break free from limitations, ignite your passions, and create a life you love, then hit that subscribe button and join my community of dreamers, doers, and difference makers. Together, let's elevate. There is a meat delivery service that has been saving my butt on my son's little league nights and long schoolwork evenings with my teenager, but it would also take a lot of work out of meal prep too. Just meats. They simplify life without compromising on health. They come seasoned and cooked and ready to be reheated in just 1 to 2 minutes. All you have to do is prepare your sides and you have a full meal on the table. So easy, so delicious, so affordable. These are premium quality and new flavors drop regularly. You cook them in just 1 to 2 weeks, or you can pop them in the freezer for 4 to 6 months. My family has been loving them. Let's be honest. They just make me a happier mom too. You can choose from chicken, pork, or beef options. You're going to love them and the unique sauces that each meat comes with. So head to the link in my show notes for $15 off your order, and that can also be combined with 25% off your first order. You have to try these. Hi friends, Erica with the Elevate with Erica podcast here, and I'm recording this on July 4th. So while you'll hear this after the 4th, happy Independence Day to all my friends in the States. We, like many, are headed to a pool party after this with our very good friends and some cookout food. I've got 2 strawberry pies in the works, and later on tonight, my husband and I are going to ride our bikes to go see the fireworks in our neighborhood. It's just like a 15-minute cycle. It's going to be a gorgeous day. And then tomorrow we head to Pittsburgh for the weekend to see the Pirates play on Saturday. My husband grew up in that area, so that's mainly who we root for in this house, them and the Orioles too, because that's my home team. But I didn't really watch baseball until meeting my husband. So we just lean towards the Pirates. I'm looking forward to a nice long weekend, and this podcast is the last thing on my to-do list before we kick things off. Last episode, we talked about the cost of staying still, because there is a cost there too that we often don't consider. It's not necessarily an immediate cost. And so lots of times it's a cost that we pay down the road. The cost of never having the life, the relationships, the career that we desire or could have had or were meant for. But it sparked a lot of conversations in my DMs. Some of you reached out to me and expressed your fear of the work or fear of the unknown in going down a new path. Our fear of that unknown that we kind of hide behind things like, I don't have time next year, when my kids are graduated, when I'm retired, when things slow down, I'm just not outspoken enough. I've used that one. I'd rather not rock the boat. Also use that one. And everything's fine. Everything's fine. That's probably the one I've used the most. So I want to talk more about this today to extend out on last week and help so many of you who recognized and felt the cost of staying still in that episode, but you're still struggling to make a change because of the unknowns, the resistance that you've met, and the work that it's going to take to get on the other side of it. So I've done episodes on this topic before. Honestly, this is one of my favorite things to talk about. But this is hard stuff, and our brain works so hard to keep us comfortable, and it's not easy to rewire that, to think new thoughts and to build new beliefs about fear and resistance and discomfort. Like maybe when we meet that resistance, we aren't supposed to stop there, right? Like maybe when we feel uncomfortable, we're supposed to get curious. Maybe when the fear is felt, it means we're on the path to something amazing. Our opportunity for growth is now in sight, and it's not some far off mountain in the distance. But we're at the base of that mountain and we just have to climb up. And that view from the top is going to be oh so worth it. These are beliefs that I want us to absorb at the end of this, by the end of this episode, because the more we practice them, the more they become our truths. Little by little, they will replace our limiting beliefs we've subconsciously adopted as truths to live by. And that's why I think it's okay that this is kind of a repeat topic on this episode. The fact is, we can do hard things. We can lean into discomfort when we have to, right? Like when it comes to protecting our children, we turn superhuman. Or if we suddenly left a job or we're suddenly left without a job, like my ex-husband and I both, that happened right before Christmas. We were working at the same place together and they closed their doors right before Christmas. Or when it becomes a life and death situation, like, oh, now you have to lose the weight, right? Or else. Like those kinds of things shift us into high gear and we plow through uncomfortable situations because we have to. But you really don't have to, right? You're still making a choice in there. Like you could not protect your kids. You could choose not to do that. You could not try and find another job. You could live a poor quality of life for your remaining years and not start taking better care of yourself. But we tell ourselves that we have to in those situations. We decide, oh, I have to do this. And we put on this armor, right? Kind of like this don't mess with me armor. Hold my beer and watch this. We walk into rooms differently because we're on a mission now. Something has lit us up to the point where we barely recognize ourselves. But the truth is, we can adopt this mindset in the face of any fear. It does lean back to what I said last year about change needing to become a necessity. Last episode, sorry, about change needing to become a necessity. But how do you take that first action step? You get curious when you find the edge. It's the edge of your comfort zone when you get to that point and you either go, I'm gonna step back for now. And we know that now usually becomes forever, right? This doesn't feel good. I can't do this. It's not meant for me. Or it's the edge where we get curious and we ask ourselves, what's scary about this thing to me? And is it even true? Or is it something I'm just telling myself, right? What's the bigger picture here? What's the outcome that I desire actually look like? What am I hoping comes out of this? It's finding that bigger thing we're trying to serve and then zeroing in on it. So we stop zeroing in on the discomfort of change. And this is going to take repetition because your brain's going to work against that. You don't do one crunch and have abs, right? And you don't replace a thought one time and create new thought patterns. So get very aware of your thoughts, get curious when you're on that edge. And when you feel the fear or anxiety or resistance stopping you, stop and collect evidence that supports that bigger picture. I've been doing something that I'm not sure I've mentioned here yet. Maybe I did. It's a breathing method called the 4-7-8 method. And I don't know if there's another name for it, but that's what I've been calling it. And it's helped me get through some pretty big challenges I'm facing in my personal life. So you breathe in for 4 seconds, and then you hold that breath for 7 seconds, and then you exhale for 8 seconds. And I was skeptical at first, but I initially started using it to quiet my mind at night so that I could rest despite having a million things to do. And within 3 cycles of that breathing method, I can feel myself relaxing and getting tired. And I've heard that you're supposed to kind of practice this like up to 10 minutes before bed every night. And I admit that I don't do it that long. I've been able to feel tired pretty quickly. But if you have the time, go for it. But recently, these past couple weeks, when I found myself in really uncomfortable moments, when I found myself on that edge and I know that I have to press on for the bigger picture, I've started doing that breathing method. So in these moments on the edge, maybe you felt this too. I start to feel like my breaths get more shallow, right? Like my heart rate is picking up. I'm not taking in deep breaths. I'm not filling my lungs with air. My shoulders raise and my body tenses. And in those moments, I've started to do the 4-7-8 method. And it has helped me so much. So, next time you're in that moment where you're getting ready to walk through discomfort, getting ready to push past resistance, will you try that? Because the unknown can feel so threatening. And I found this to be a great way to calm my mind so that I don't fall back into the temporary comfort zone of sitting still that my brain is trying to take me to. My goal here today is to help you find comfort in the discomfort and to help you get uncomfortable, to shift your beliefs around being in that space and to know that you're safe there. You're powerful and you can embrace that uncomfortable feeling because it's there to help you grow into even more of an amazing human than you already are. And it's just a step to the next level. Because if you're willing to be uncomfortable, then you can never be stuck. You have the power to walk through discomfort, right? We already talked about that. You do it when you have to. So it's about creating that have to feeling more often for yourself. It's about owning the power that you have to do that because it's already within you. And you'll never be stuck in life again. It's like the title of the book that I'm reading right now. Everything is figure outable, and everything does become figure outable. What an empowering statement, right? What a way to live life moving forward. So let it be a reminder to all of us when we step away from this episode and say, you know what? I'm a badass and I will stand on the edge of resistance and I will push forward. I will push back. I will no longer let it stop me. I see the bigger picture in the change that I desire, and then that becomes my focus. And I will collect evidence of that and surround myself with it through repetition, through vision boards, through notes on the bathroom mirror, through pen to paper, writing down that why every day, whatever works for you, right? Just magnify the bigger picture, not your fear. We will not miss out on the amazing life that we are meant to live because we're afraid of the work, afraid of the climb up that mountain. Every single reach up in the face of resistance gets us closer to the bigger picture, which is that view at the top. And let us not forget, by the way, that even the best climbers take a misstep from time to time and they have to regain focus, regain their footing, right? And find a new way to the top. And you will have to do that too. You're going to misstep. But it's now at the base of the mountain when you start training yourself for that and for what you'll do on those missteps on the way up. You're not in the middle of the mountain yet because you wouldn't know how to get the rest of the way up if you were, and you wouldn't have acquired the skill it takes to get there. And those are the skills you need to complete the rest of the journey. And I wanted to make sure that I added that because I've caught myself doing this, right? We often get caught in comparison when we're at the bottom of the mountain, when we're at that edge of resistance. We see someone else already doing the thing farther along, and we wish we were where they are. But I don't want you to do that because that can quickly turn into reasons that we start stacking up, right? Our brain trying to keep us comfortable for why we can't do this, why we shouldn't do this. So don't wish that you were already at the middle of the mountain or at the top. You're at the base of the mountain. You're looking up. The work in front of you is necessary to become the person who no longer folds in the face of a challenge. We can't grow without it. And growth is the key component in continuing to unlock a better version of ourselves and our lives year after year. Everything is fine, no longer cuts it. Find your edge and get curious. I'm rooting for you. We're going to walk through this together. Text me and let me know what this opened up for you today. Let me know what resistance this episode helped you forge through. And if you're listening to this on a podcast platform, you can text me now. You can just go right to the show notes and click the link to text me. Let me know your takeaways from today when you put this episode into practice or just anything that you want to share with me. It's a cool new way for us to connect. And again, it means so much to me when you take the time to share these episodes on your social media and with your friends. Every new added listener has a huge effect on the show. So thank you for taking the time to do that. And as always, make sure to go leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. I'm going to leave you with this thought today. The fears that you don't face today will become your limit tomorrow. What you can't confront, you will never conquer. Until next episode, friends. E.